Don't fuck up in 2025. Don't fuck yourself in 2025. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the first episode of 2025.
It's a new year, baby.
Oh, you're not here yet. Welcome to the Root Cooking School podcast. I'm your host. Stop it. Your host, John Hauser III. We've already ruined our New Year's resolutions. I'm John Hauser III, and with me is the biggest blowhard.
Oh, I'm Evan the Mayor. That's my name. Oh, my new name for 2025 is Evan the Governor.
Oh, really? Taking it up.
Yeah.
Taking over shit. You're gonna be running Podcast City, the state of podcast.
Podcast region.
Yeah,
I'm the the Duke of podcasting.
I'm the Earl of podcasts. Oh, how's it going? How's 2025 treating you so far?
So far, so comical. I can't believe how funny this year is being so far.
Yeah, why's that?
Oh, I don't know. Like, the Trump stuff's very funny. LA is on fire.
That's not funny.
It looks like the opening sequence from Demolition Man, but for real.
Looks like the beginning of fucking Terminator.
Oh, yeah, but without the robots.
Yeah, without the robots. Just skulls and fire.
You know what's funny about the Terminator is, like, there's no reason they would have, like, walking skeleton robots. It would just be drones. Just drones.
Well, back then it was just cooler to have walking skeleton robots.
Sure, they look scary.
Because they didn't even think of drones yet.
No. Who would have
Obama hadn't unleashed them yet.
Who would have thought of little flying things instead of walking things?
Yeah. Hey, look, those things are cool. Blech, dead. Yeah, that would be terrible. Yeah, what else is funny to you so far this year?
The Golden Globes, man, that was hilarious.
Nikki Glazer's opening, I've only watched her opening monologue, and that actually was pretty good.
Yeah, she was okay.
When she had Adam Sandler do Chalamet.
That was funny.
Oh, Chalamet.
Give me a Chalamet.
Timothée Chalamet. That was really funny.
Other things that are hilarious, I was sick for like 2 weeks straight. We were in Charleston, South Carolina for the holidays, and then as soon as I got home, I got sick the very next day from roughly the 27th until today, basically.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That sucks. I got sick, which is why I didn't have an episode last week. I got sick on Christmas Eve. I woke up Christmas Eve morning and was like, fuck, and was sick until maybe 3 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just couldn't shake it. Like you'd feel good, and then all of a sudden you're like, ugh, like just tired and gross. And...
Well, we had to go to a wedding for 2 days in Hunt Valley, and there's a lot of drinking going on and this and that.
Sure.
And it's just like, what could you possibly do to your body to prolong being sick?
Yeah,
and that is what we did.
Yeah, I think so. I kind of tried to power through the holidays drinking, and then I do dry January.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been sober now for 9 days, and I think that helped a lot. But I was just like, even going into this week, I'm just like, God damn it! Like, can I just not? Like, I remember walking up to the hill I guess it was Monday when we had snow.
Snow day. And
just being like, fuck it. I'm just exhausted.
Yeah.
This sucks.
I, in an effort to sort of, get my blood flowing, I did a lap around the park, which was a big mistake because none of the sidewalks are clear. It's just ice, sheets of ice. But yeah, my chest hurt so bad from, being sick and just being out of shape from not doing jack shit throughout the holiday season and then some. So yeah, I mean, I'm also doing a light dry-nuary. Like I had a couple drinks Sunday when we knew it was going to be a snow day.
That was the only time so far that I've been like, man, was Sunday night where I was like, not even Friday, not even Saturday.
Yeah.
It was Sunday night knowing that there was going to be a snow day. Just being like, oh man.
Well, and during the football game Saturday, it was just like, because we had to actually go to somebody else's apartment. They were out of town on their honeymoon from the wedding, and we were cat sitting a little bit, and we the guy that lives there has like this big bourbon collection. And I was like, ooh, daddy, like.
Just like taking some out, throwing a little bit of water back in the bottle.
One for me, one for you.
Like you're 12 and shit. Yeah, not too tempted. Not watching football playoffs is without like a couple drinks is kind of rotten, but
yeah,
it's
no fun.
No, but I do it almost every year. I've been doing it now for almost 15 years, so it's just, I usually try to do it now, and then sometimes I do it in October too.
Okay.
At least for a few weeks. Just
Sobertober.
Yeah, Sobertober. Sobertober. I like Sobertober.
Yeah, I just want the sidewalks to clear up so I can actually try to walk to the gym. And then, of course, this weekend, rather than go to the gym, we're going to the Dulles area to go to a Korean day spa.
Oh, really?
And spending 2 nights in a hotel.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do they have Korean food there as well?
They do, and I'm looking forward to that.
How was the trip to Charleston?
It was fine. We spent 100% of it in the suburbs. Basically, it was bouncing around between 2 family houses. So,
okay,
we didn't go to downtown or anything, but we did go to a barbecue restaurant, which was good. It was fine. Ordered like 2 steam trays of barbecue for the holidays, and there were so many leftovers. I'm sure they're still eating it. But yeah, and that's it. It was just
what kind of barbecue?
South Carolina
pork, beef. No, I'm just saying
all of it. We had we had like sausages and turkey and brisket and some pork. Yeah, pulled pork, a bunch of stuff, just a ton of stuff.
Like people are so anti-regional barbecue now again that's why I had to ask, because people are just like, I'm in fucking Texas and I make pork, and I'm in North Carolina I make beef. Like they just
I do like the vinegary stuff. The
oh, me too. Yeah.
I like it all. I don't fuck. Who cares? I mean, I don't like a big over sauced sloppy.
I don't like St. Louis barbecue.
Okay.
Because it's all sweet and saucy and
and maybe that's the one I don't like.
Yeah.
But I'll eat it.
No, of course I'll eat it if when it's done right. But most of the time, when a lot of barbecue places, they think that's what barbecue, or should I say, home cooks think that's what barbecue is, where they just grill it
in sauce
and then drown it in sauce, right?
Yeah.
So it's tough and it's sweet.
Speaking of home cooks, this week I've just been, because I've been sick, we just got a box, meal prep box, which has been pretty decent. Tonight's meal was actually a tzatziki chicken with sweet potatoes and peppers, which I just kind of minced it all up and put it in a bowl and mixed it together. It was very lemony and dilly, and it was good. But because, at any given restaurant nowadays, wings are just insanely expensive. Dude. I was like, I'm going to make them at home, and rather than do air fryer, which for the listener, don't ever not do air fryer. It's just so easy, and it's pretty much the same. Just brush those wings with some oil and they'll be fine. But I went with like the full Dutch oven, with boiling oil and whatnot.
Oh shit, you deep fried motherfuckers.
I did, and it was a pain in the ass. It was a huge mess. I have like 4 beer cans full of oil in the freezer, and the wings were mostly frozen. So they had to be lowered into the oil individually, and I had to cover the whole thing with like a very strong spatter screen, or I would have turned my house into LA.
Jesus. Yeah, that sucks. I don't like deep frying wings mostly. I'd rather have them
baked than broiled
or grilled.
Mm-hmm.
Than fried, because most of the time they just keep them in the fryer too long.
Mm-hmm.
Because most places don't give a shit. They're just like, yeah, we're just making. They just put them in, and then whenever they get to them after making all the subs and shit, then they just come back to them. They're like, all right, they look done, and then that's it. But yeah, I'm totally down with making wings at home because they're so fucking expensive.
Yeah.
Like 10 wings for $15 and shit, that kind of shit.
Oh yeah, now it just says like 1 pound of wings for like $17,
which is like 3 wings.
But yeah, I mean, I've done them many times in the air fryer, and they're a little drier unless you coat them in oil. But it's basically the same thing, and the cleanup is just nil. Whereas this was such a pain in the ass, and I made some buffalo sauce from scratch, and even that, when you've got the oily buttery sauce left over. It stains whatever plastic bowl you put it in. And then you've just got so much stuff to clean up.
Yeah. One thing that we've been doing in 2025 is trying to migrate out of all the plastic bowls in the fridge.
Yeah.
We're going glass.
Okay.
Because last year we bought a bunch of glassware for lunches, and they're great because you just take it right from the bowl, like right from your bag to the microwave, and not have to put it into
a secondary thing.
Yeah, because I haven't microwaved plastic in years. Because
I also am very anti-microwaving any plastics.
Yeah. I mean, that said, I don't even have macroplastics in my body from the 1980s of microwaving spaghetti and fucking
full on pellets.
Oh yeah. I mean, I've just got fucking like pencil erasers all through my body.
Reminds me, we got to get Leanna on the old podcast to do some hot recycling chat.
Oh yeah, man, she's ready for it. She's at a recycling dinner right now. They have like once every other month.
Nice.
Where they just talk about like shouldn't these
technology
paper plates?
And news.
Yeah. They just judge the fucking caterer and shit. They're like, which Leanna's already had Hopkins taken care of. Like they have to be pre-approved and use certain kind of plates and napkins and forks and
every time now we get a delivery and I forget to say like leave the single-use plastic stuff behind. I'm like, what do I do with this crap?
Yeah, it's all like weird little baby bottles of just nothing. It's like, little here's a teaspoon of soy sauce.
The cutlery, which is individually wrapped. Even the packets of ketchup and shit like that. I'm just like, God, I hate all this trash.
Yeah. It's like you don't give a shit about it until you do. And then once you do start giving a shit about it, it drives you crazy because it's fucking everywhere. You're just so used to convenience.
And it's nonstop.
No, it's everywhere and it's bananas. Like the people at work are like, you have your own fucking spoon and fork and knife at work? And I'm like, yeah, like I just wash it. I just wash it. It's not a big deal.
I put it in my little bento box. I'm good.
I have this little kit that Leanna gave me, and it says Johns Hopkins on it, and it has a fork and a knife and a spoon and chopsticks and a straw and a little cleaner for the straw.
Which it's a stainless steel straws
later. Yeah.
I hate those fucking things. Well, they're better than the paper straws. I'll give it that.
We'll talk about those later.
Okay.
But yeah, did you do anything? Did you eat anything fun or do anything weird on New Year's Eve?
No, because of the wedding, we were there for the wedding the night before New Year's. So when we came home, it was our hangover day, and we basically did nothing on New Year's Eve.
Oh, wow.
We watched several other time zones worth of fireworks, and then I was in bed by like 10:30.
I was surprised the Baltimore ones were really good.
I heard them.
Yeah, because you're right.
They were shaking our house.
Yeah. We watched them from our rooftop deck, and it was the first time in years that they were high enough above the city that we could actually see them. Because the last couple of years they just kept them low, and I don't know why. But they were really nice. They looked.
I have a rooftop deck, but it faces the opposite direction. So it's like,
wait, what?
Yeah, you have to walk across somebody else's roof to actually be able to see them.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
Unless
you could just turn around, right?
No, I'd have to put a ladder up against because it's not like a roof.
Oh, right, because you got to go. Yeah.
It's like a
you're
bump
blocked.
up.
Yeah, you're blocked by the.
I'd have to get on the double
other roof. Yeah, right. Yeah, that would suck. Fucking everybody's dying falling off of that thing.
Yep.
I went to Nihao. This is our second or third year in a row going to Nihao for early New Year's Eve dinner. It was great. I can't speak enough highly about how good their dumplings and stuff like that are. We got a couple weird things that were just like, oh, that's like their crystal shrimp or whatever it's called.
Okay.
They're super crackly and crunchy and delicious and giant. Fucking, you get like 6 or 7 giant fucking deep fried shrimp, but the sauce on them was kind of just like, it was the limoncello shrimp is what it was.
Okay.
And it's just this weird I didn't taste limoncello. It was just a sweet sauce on the shrimp. But the shrimp were great once you dipped them in something else. And yeah, their soup dumplings are awesome. And Crosby eats like a zillion of them and all the dim sum and shit that you can order. It's great. So.
Should be noted, the wedding we went to was at the Milton Inn.
Oh.
Which is pretty nice. It's like a 18th century building.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's an inn from, the 1700s.
Yeah.
Mostly stone. Very cool interior. Cozy.
I've been there once.
And I think it's a Cindy Wolf place. I
Not anymore.
Could be wrong. Well, yeah, whatever.
Well, do you hear about what happened with them?
Just saw that today. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, it's under the Foreman section. She's taking Charleston. He's taking everything else, but they're still going to work together. I don't understand.
Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah.
And the food was good. It's just that we thought it was going to be all past hors d'oeuvres. And by the time, surprise, there was actually a main, and it was a very good tenderloin. It was like late enough that everyone was shit faced.
Oh.
So everyone's just like, steak and mashed potatoes and whatnot. I had a plate of it and it was good. It was just that, by the time we got to our plates of dinner food, everyone was like, I'm hammered. I'm going back to the hotel.
Wow, really? That's weird. That sucks.
Well,
I would be so mad if it was my wedding.
Yeah, well, no, I think everyone was pretty happy. And it was
but like if the food came out late, you know what I'm saying? Like you expect the food to come out within like 30 minutes of the wedding.
There was no seating involved. Everyone was just kind of wandering around.
Oh.
Yeah, and eating at hors d'oeuvres. And then all of a sudden there was this buffet line, and I'm like, it's 9:30 and there's a buffet now.
And I've had a gallon of bourbon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So after Nihao, we had a couple people over at our house, and I was like, let's have like a charcuterie board and blah blah blah, and everybody came over and then left at like 10:30. And I was like, but what about this cheese dip that I've been making? And it was like a brie and like a bunch of like veg and shit, and then you melt it all together and then just kind of scoop it with chips.
Okay.
So nobody ate it, so it's still in my fridge right now, and I'm currently shred in my Instant Pot. I have going some basically Mexican style chuck roast that I'm braising, and then I'm gonna take that cheese dip upstairs and melt that back down, then place that on a tortilla, and then a big slab of beef, and then that's going to be our dinner. So
similarly, one of the meals that we had out of the box was pot roast tacos.
That's pretty much what I'm making,
and it was all right.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really easy to just fucking do the thing, and like while I'm doing the podcast, that's going to go for 60 minutes, and then a natural release for another 20, and I'll be done, and it'll be ready to go pretty much once I'm done with you.
Who's done with who here?
No, I guess you'll be done with me. My Christmas was interesting. I didn't make a big old shebang-a-bang. It was nice. If anybody listened to the last episode where I talked with Jenny, we were talking about what we were going to do, and I kind of convinced myself during that episode that I didn't need to do like a standing rib roast and popovers and potatoes and veg, you know what I mean? Like just a big giant meal. And I was like, just kind of remembering the Christmas Eves and Christmas days of my childhood at my grandmother's house, where the family would just come over and we would just have a giant spread just to pick at, like she would make a ham, and that would be like the only food. Everything else was like snacky shit. And that's what we did. We had a giant charcuterie board. We had like, a bunch of olives and pickled peppers and deviled eggs and nuts and just a, spread of picky shit. And then we heated up a ham and then just had King's Hawaiian rolls, and just everybody can just make themselves a little sandwich.
Cool.
Yeah, it was great. Like we just literally just hung around the kitchen and bullshitted all night. It was really fun. I highly recommend.
That's what it's all about, isn't it?
It really was. Like, I'm not even bullshitting. It was a really like fun family time.
Yeah, do that. Talk about the drones in New Jersey.
We did not talk about the drones in New Jersey.
Oh, you didn't? Because that's what was going on.
Yeah. No.
Oh, we had such fun, though, being in South Carolina and watching the Ravens game, and really no one gave a fuck about the Ravens game. But we were watching it, and oh, man, so many hilarious Baltimore jokes were told while we were sitting around. Yeah. Oh, man. I don't know if you know this, but Baltimore... people get murdered in Baltimore.
Really?
Woo!
That's pretty.
That's the joke. That is the joke. It's the joke of Baltimore.
So were these people that were talking shit to you, or you just overheard them?
No, they were just making fun of Baltimore.
Okay.
Because there's murder in Baltimore. The very much fun part was the halftime show, where some folks really didn't think that Beyonce should be doing country music.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, I bet.
And I immediately got on Facebook and started reading all the comments, like, out loud, like just the most racist bullshit you've ever read in your life. And you're just like, it is going to be 2025 in like 5 seconds. We're still doing this.
Yeah, I watched that, and it's not my thing, but at one point she was singing while she was being held upside down, and I was like, that's fucking amazing. Like,
yeah, it was not for me. I don't really give a fuck about anything cowboy related, but I mean, she's one of the highest paid entertainers in the world, so I don't understand when people are like, she needs to stay in her lane. I'm like, what lane would that be?
But have they ever heard Florida Georgia Line? Like, that's not country either.
But they don't.
I bet you they're
they don't complain about
that shit. Yeah.
I don't think they complained about Kid Rock when he did a country album.
Yeah, right. Well, because he's a scumbag, so he looks like a country album.
But you know who they did complain about? Lil Nas X when he did a country track.
Well, I don't think they like Shaboozey that much either, even though he had the #1 song in the country album charts.
But Lil Nas X he needs to stay in his lane. Can't be doing no country.
His whole thing is country, right? Like, sample a 9 Inch Nails song, make it a country album.
Sure.
Pretty smart. Well, that's what Old Town Road is, right?
I guess I did not.
Yeah, the guitar line is a slowed down 9 Inch Nails line. Okay. So when he won a Grammy, Trent Reznor won one too.
But yeah, I was like doing a mini rant, saying like, oh, these people on Facebook are being so racist and this and that and the other. My mom is like, oh, you say that about everything, everything's racist and sexist and this and that and the other. And I was like, I read the comment. It was basically like, Ghetto Lean needs to take her ass back to like whatever. And I'm just like, there, how about that one, Mom? And she's like, oh, yeah, I guess that's pretty bad.
Yeah. Family's fun, you guys. So I haven't really cooked too much in the past week and a half since 2025 hit, because I've been dealing with, apparently I've been walking on a sprained foot for a month and a half, so that's fun.
Ew.
Yeah, so I've been trying to stay off my foot because I'm an old weird man who can't.
I'm an old weird man.
Yeah, can't not keep hurting his foot. But I have been cooking a couple things. Like tonight I'm doing that, the taco stuff. I've been doing, there was a braised chicken dish that I did with olives and lemon the other day I got from the New York Times that was really easy and fucking really, really good. It calls for Castellano. I can never say that properly. The green ones that are good. The green Italian olives that are good. Castellano. I always want to say, I call them Castlevania olives.
Castlevania olives? Oh, gimme.
Yeah. It's, yeah. Castellvetrano olives. It is. Castelvetrano olives, yeah. I always call them Castlevania olives. But it called for those or Kalamatas, and I did both because I'm a fancy lad. And god damn, it was good. Just kind of braise chicken and lemons with olives in rice all together in one pot. It was fucking awesome. So if you can get to the New York Times website, their cooking channel, their cooking site, go for it. It's really good. I'll post it on the Facebook page.
Well, not everyone has access to New York Times, John.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said if you have access to it, do it. That's still like I would pay for that if I didn't get it for free. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, my wife has it. I get Washington Post for free, but I never look at it.
I don't think I used to pay for the Washington Post for about a year or two just for their cooking site.
Okay.
And then their cooking site just became really boring. Like all the recipes are really lame. And then Bezos was Bezos, and then I just can't.
Yeah, Bezos, and
yeah,
all of those fucking people. Like I mean, I don't typically use Facebook very much anymore, but now I'm like, oh, I am all the way off of Facebook. Yeah. Like I got off of X a couple months ago at this point. I'm mostly on Blue Sky.
Yeah.
And I've been just not really paying much attention to Facebook at all. And Messenger, I think I'm gonna get rid of it.
Well, let me know, because that's kind of how
watching Zuckerberg suck Trump's entire boot and dick at the same time. I'm just like, nah, I'm out. I'm done.
Yeah, the only thing that keeps me on there is the rude page.
Sure,
pretty much. You know,
I mean, yeah, I will post
just because that's how I'll
post links for our podcast purposes. Right. But you know, it's when I scroll through the feed, it's like person I know photo, page I don't follow, 3 advertisements. Just a bunch of shit that I don't want to see or need to see. Pretty much the same thing with Instagram. It's like I rarely see my friends on there. It's just like some other page I don't know anything about.
I stopped using it. Instagram.
Some thirst trap lady trying to post, sexy pics or whatever. And then the rest of it is just my friend's stories, and I don't look at stories. So fuck it, whatever.
Yeah, I don't look at stories either. I'm like, did you have to make it a story? Just I'll go through the pictures.
It's a very weird thing that I call it a very Brian Levy thing, because he refers to posting just pictures on Instagram as just putting something on the grid, as if that's like it's beneath him, or it's something that like it really has to be a very special photo for it to go on the grid.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's got to be a story.
But what? Like, I don't like most. No, if you're my friend and you're listening to this, this isn't about you. Most people that do these don't have the personality to fucking make videos.
Yes. Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the problem. Like,
yeah. You're not clever. Hey, your life isn't interesting at all.
Right. like, hey, y'all. Like, it's always like, hey, y'all. Like,
thought pieces.
I don't care.
Yeah, just post a photo of your dog. That's fine.
I'm interested in photos. Photos are interesting. Like, that's fine. And this might sound like old man corner, but like, none of you motherfuckers are interesting enough to fucking capture my imagination with a video that's a minute and a half long.
Right.
I don't need to see it. So, yeah, I mean, TikTok's, well, they might be going out of business in a week.
Yeah, 10 days. We'll see.
Which is fucking weird. And I don't know what half of my friends are going to do, because they all are obsessed with TikTok. Which, again, hey, y'all. Like, I don't want it. I'm good. I'm not making TikToks. I'm good. I mean, Christ, I remember what was the fucking stupid shit like 15 years ago that was just like snippets. It was only like 10
Vine?
seconds. Vine. Yeah. Fucking worthless. Just a gimmick.
There's some funny stuff on Vine.
No, of course, there's always
that's
funny.
What was genius about Vine is they were 6 seconds.
Oh, is that what it was?
So if you could tell a joke within 6 seconds, perfect. And those people did really, really well, and now they're all on TikTok.
But there was a lot of chuff in the fucking, going through Vines.
Yeah, it's mostly trash.
But that's the same thing with like TikTok, or the thing that drives me crazy are the multiple series. Like, here's the original, but then here's the person watching the original, reacting to the original, and then here's the person talking about the way the person's reacting, watching the original.
Yeah,
and they do that with cooking videos because
a good 30 to 40% of content on either YouTube or TikTok is just like commentary content.
Right.
And it is so derivative and boring. And then I watch a lot of YouTube and a lot of commentary content.
I do too.
And it is just like the same fucking people talking about the same other fucking people, not doing any of their own original stuff. It's just like, oh, this person from this political podcast destroys the opponent. And then it's just them watching a picture-in-picture of the other person's show. And then they'll be like, whoa, they really did that. Wow.
Yeah, there's a lot of that in the cooking world where it's like, someone makes a video of them creating a recipe, and it could be bad and it could be,
critiquing their technique like the
but
whole
then there's
time.
the person, their head's in the corner like, I wouldn't do that.
Right.
Like of course there's the guy that does the chef ratings, and he's funny. Like there's always a couple creatives that make it their own, but most of the time it's just some ding dong being like, hey y'all, like we're gonna watch this video, tell you what it is, and it's always some fucking asshole goes, they ain't put no seasoning on it.
Yeah.
They ain't put no seasoning on it. It's like,
have you seen
not everything needs fucking, Magic Mike's elixir powder or whatever the fuck,
Have you seen Jack Cooks on YouTube?
I probably have.
He's this schlubby dude who lives in like Virginia or something like that. Makes some of the objectively like the worst fucking cooking videos you've ever seen.
On purpose, or
to the point that it is hilariously just funny.
Is it on purpose, or is it?
No. This guy is very
He's
sincere.
For real. Oh, okay.
He's for real with his cooking, and I guess his logic is sometimes. Let's say he's cooking a turkey, and he's like, "I'm gonna do an experiment where I'm just gonna soak this entire turkey in buttermilk,
God,
and then put it in the oven."
I mean, that's not a bad idea.
But then he throws like spices on it, and he pulls it out of the oven. And it looks like, like a whale
melted ice cream. Yeah.
And then he cuts into it and it's completely raw. And then he takes a bite of it and he's like, great.
Oh, God.
And it's like, oh, you didn't think to redo that? Like
It's terrible.
Those commentaries I will watch because Jack Cooks is so fucking funny and disgusting at the same time. Like, you should seriously watch a few of them.
Okay. I've been going down a weird rabbit hole of, there's a guy who does recreations of old just food throughout time kind of thing. And like one of his videos I watched, he recreated like 1980s cafeteria pizza.
I saw that one.
It's really fucking good. And I was like, wow, was it the one with like the pourable
dough?
Yep, pourable dough, yeah.
And then some kind of tomato paste based sauce.
But then mixing the cheese with the tomato stuff and then putting cheese on top, I was like, that's why that tasted that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really interesting. And I'm obsessed with watching. There's another guy that I found out through that he just does MREs or old MREs or old like rescue boat food. So he's like, yeah, here's a fucking rescue kit straight out of this boat from 1980. And he like gets the kit and it's all sealed up and sometimes
cheese. Shit on a shingle.
Sometimes he eats it, sometimes he doesn't, but he's like, look, they're like, this is from Japan in 1979. Oh wow, look, the gummies are still soft, that kind of shit. And he tries it and
John, we got to do another MRE episode.
Dude, I was just thinking that. Yeah, like that was so much fun.
But we need to get like, I'd say 4 people total.
Yeah, we got to do. We should do a crossover episode where we just do it in your house.
We'll get your favorite lady, Christina Kasich, on.
Oh yeah, does she do that kind of stuff?
I doubt it.
Oh okay.
We could get invited to the Banner office.
Yeah, I bet they would love to have us up there.
Yeah, it's right there in the beautiful Inner Harbor.
I tried really hard to get a bunch of prepper places to send me some sample stuff. They weren't having it.
Yeah,
they didn't even get back to me.
They want money. I have watched a few videos where people will try like all of the different varieties of that kind of stuff, and it all looks like baby puke.
Oh, it all looks like dog vomit. Yeah. Like, but I think the U.S. military does a pretty good job after watching a lot of these videos because they actually make food instead of like, here's protein rich oat bars. You know what I mean? Like this is going to get you through 2 weeks stranded on a fucking boat in the ocean. Like that kind of shit. Some of it's really interesting, like to see, there used to be a show on the History Channel, and I think it only lasted for a season, and they did that kind of shit where they just would find really old MREs or really old canned tinned food or old cereal and shit like that. And then they would like tell you the history of the food and how it was made and why it was made. And then they would try it. Most of it was inedible, clearly, because it was like 70 years old and shit like that. But they found like hardtack from the, what do you call it? Civil War, hardtack from the Civil War. And they ate that because it was just hardtack. And they're like, oh God, it's just salty. And it's like, yeah, that's what it is. It's water, salt, and flour. It's hardtack. Like, but they were able to eat it, you know, from the fucking Civil War. It's pretty bananas.
They were capable of putting it in their mouths.
Yeah, they didn't die.
I sent you the link to the Cooking with Jack show.
Cool. I'll check it out. I'll do that tonight and just be like, ugh.
Look, you should do your own TikTok of reacting to Cooking with Jack.
Yeah, exactly.
It is always a bona fide good time.
All right, let's ease into the new year with some food news.
Yeah, I wish I could do the noises and scream and whatever, but I've been sick, so I'm just
don't do that with the headphones on because I've been getting a lot of people are like, his mic is too hot.
Get your own fucking mic.
Too many mouth noises apparently.
That's why I'm using a different headset. I did notice that my other one, it picked up some breathing.
Yeah, that was the other thing I heard. But yeah, fuck.
You didn't hear that. Nobody told you that.
Okay.
Nobody talks to you.
Sure. It's just you're just as bad as Brian at this point.
Yeah, sure. No, I can get as bad as him if you like.
Brian, who sounds like he's like talking with a clothespin on his nose.
Yeah, with mouthful of marbles on the inside of a toilet tank.
Oh God. You know what? It's so funny because I listen to a lot of podcasts and or like. Like I listen to our local sports radio station after the shows have played, so I can just kind of fast forward through, commercials and shit.
Yeah.
But sometimes they have like, it'd be like, hey y'all, yeah, this is your boy. I used to play in the NFL and I used to be a wide receiver. Why don't you listen to my new podcast? It's called the Wide Receiver Podcast Show. And you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
How did you get a fucking paid podcast?
They're recording it on this.
Yes, dude. Like, oh my God. Like, it sounds like you're in a toilet bowl. Like,
I do think it's funny that the Baltimore Banner, I think the only podcast they have is the Adam Jones podcast.
Oh, and yeah.
I don't quite understand why. If they're going to have one, why not have more than one?
Well, that's Adam Jones, and then what's his name? Who used to be on 105.7? I forget his name.
Nestor Aparicio?
No. God, no.
No, everyone loves him.
Everyone hates his fucking guts, dude. I saw him at a thing where I was a judge of the food, and he had a couple dudes around him, but people were like, he would be like, hey, and people would just be like, yeah, fucking that guy. But yeah, let's get into some food nards. Food nards. Let's see. You're a coffee guy, right?
Yeah, I drink it.
Yeah, you're not like a big coffee dude.
I'm not a snob about it. I mean, I have my tastes in coffee have evolved past chock full of nuts.
Gotcha. Well, good news, everyone. Drinking coffee could add years to your life, according to a new study. What is that? Are you like eating anal beads or something?
No, I was putting away a package. Thank you.
Okay. If your New Year's resolution was to quit drinking coffee, you may want to revisit that idea because, according to a newly published study, regularly sipping on the caffeinated beverage could add years to your life. In December, researchers from the University of Colombia in Coimbra in Portugal published a study titled, quote, Impact of Coffee Intake on Human Aging, Epidemiology and Cellular Mechanisms, end quote, in the journal Aging Research Reviews, showcasing how coffee can help reduce all-cause mortality. Quote, this is going to get a little quotey. Quote, coffee intake attenuates the major causes of mortality, dampening cardiovascular, cerebrovascular, cancer, and respiratory diseases associated mortality, as well as some major causes of functional deterioration in the elderly, such as loss of memory, depression, and frailty. End quote. The author explains in their introduction. In fact, its review found that moderate consumption of coffee corresponds to a, quote, average increase of health span of 1.8 years of lifespan, end quote. So does that offset the cigarettes?
I mean, you can't have coffee without cigarettes.
There was a study that came out, I think, last week that said for every cigarette you've ever smoked, you've lost 20 minutes.
15 minutes, I think, was the measure.
Is that what it was? I thought it was 20.
Yeah, when I was a kid, it was like, every one of those takes off 20 minutes of your life. And then, of course, Dennis Leary had the very funny, stand-up bit.
Yeah, I should have been dead when I was 15 or whatever it was.
No, it was about how, those are the worst days of your life. Sitting in a wheelchair, shitting yourself.
But yeah. So the team noted that the inverse associations between coffee intake and mortality with the lowest risk corresponded to about 3 cups per day. Damn. I mean, that's kind of normal, right?
I'd set mine to 18 ounces, and that's what I drink. So
okay.
The other thing is, when it comes to coffee, a 6-ounce cup is considered 1 cup, not 8 ounces.
Really?
Whereas, a serving of wine is 5 ounces. It's just like, come on, can we come up with a standardized
I drink at least 4 cups of tea a day. Okay. I wonder what that would do.
Well, I'm wondering where they get all this data. I think it's basically correlative, where they ask old people, hey, did you drink a lot of coffee throughout your life? And they're like, yes, I did. Aha!
Yeah, it has nothing to do with living in Portugal.
Yeah. Yeah. Most of those blue area, blue zones, most of that is utter bullshit.
It's like we eat fish all day and fucking salads as well.
Right, fish and salads, but you're also outside most of the time, walking around, right. Not sitting on your couch like I'm currently doing and going to play 9 hours of video games at least for the next 3 or 4 days.
Let's see. I'm trying to see if there's anything that they're talking about where they actually talking about their methods. Quote, we know that the world's population is aging faster than ever. That's not true. Which is why it's increasingly important to explore dietary interventions which may allow people to not only live longer but also healthier lives. That's not true. Everyone around the world is living longer, right?
I mean, in localized pockets, it's probably not.
I mean, maybe not in America.
In general,
anymore?
Yes.
Yeah. Traditional clinical recommendations have at times overlooked coffee's role in healthy aging, but with a strong research base and how regular consumption can potentially reduce some of the most chronic diseases facing society, it's time to reevaluate these. Was this written by Big Coffee?
Probably.
This sounds like some shit that it's going to come out and be like, yeah, this was fucking the Coffee Confederation of Coffeeville.
Have you ever done the coffee ceremony thing at Dukum or any Ethiopian place?
No, I don't like coffee.
Oh, you don't like coffee? Well, I recommend you try the coffee.
That's not true. I don't dislike coffee. I like coffee. I just drank so much of it up until the age of 25 that I had to stop drinking it. I drink 1 cup of coffee now and I'm shaking like I'm a fucking crack.
Oh, then maybe you don't want to do the coffee at Dukem because it is very strong.
Oh, I'm sure. But again, I drink 4 cups of fucking tea all day, or more. It's not the caffeine. I think it's just a psychosomatic thing. Okay. So,
addict insane.
Yeah. Damn it. Yeah. Leanna's the coffee monster in the house, and she's doing the Nespresso thing.
Mm-hmm.
But because she's who she is, because she likes the quality of brew the Nespresso makes, she has reusable pills.
Okay.
So she packs her own Nespresso packs.
It's like dip for coffee.
Uses them.
Bandits for coffee drinkers.
Yeah, she uses those big pills and then takes the top off of them, compost the grounds,
mm-hmm.
then she does it once a week. She repacks them. So yeah.
Did you ever get into or try matcha?
I've had it. I have some upstairs. Yeah, I've had it a couple times.
Yeah, I had a tin that I bought, I think, during COVID or whatever, and I listened to a podcast about it, and I was like, that sounds fun. I'll try it. And I like it, but that tin sat in my fridge for 5 years.
Yeah.
I think I only just recently threw it out.
I have some really good green tea from China that's like each serving is individually vacuum packed that Leanna got from some like students that worked with her that were from China. So they found out that I like tea, so they gave her the good stuff, and that shit is so fucking good. But dude, one cup of that and you're like floating.
Yeah.
Because it's like just straight caffeine green herb tea. It's great. But yeah, I got like the clear little tea jar that you put the flowering tea thing in. Those
the
are always cool. Yeah. And for like Christmas, Leanna, there's a tea place down in Fells. She gets me tea blends and stuff like that. I make my own tea blends
Chesapeake
too.
Tea Company?
Yeah. Oh, is that what it's called? Might be.
That is an area tea operation. I don't know.
Yeah, there's a tea place down there, and they're really nice. And I also for Christmas, by the way, I got a can of comb feed turkey gizzards. Yeah,
cool.
Yeah, that's what I said. I was like, "What the fuck is this?"
Thanks.
And I had to look it up. She's like, "They're gizzards," and I was like, "What?"
You're gonna go crabbing?
No. Have you ever had gizzard stew or anything like
Nah.
that? So I grew up with that. So,
but that's what we would use to go crabbing.
Gizzards?
I mean, right in the Inner Harbor, you could put a chicken neck or a gizzard on a piece of string and catch them little bad boys.
My mother would make it because it was cheap, and it's basically you just, braise or boil chicken gizzards until they're soft, and then you add all your veg like chicken noodle soup, chicken soup stuff. And then you cook that, and then you add some noodles at the end, and it's fucking delightful. It's like the consistency of tongue.
Okay.
That kind of, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, coffee's great, tea's great. So here's your straw story.
My favorite.
Sorry, but your paper straw is covered in forever chemicals.
Oh no!
Forever chemicals.
Oh God, forever.
If you're concerned about your exposure to forever chemicals, you may want to ditch your paper straw. In 2023, researchers from the University of Antwerp, Belgium, published a study in the Journal of Food Additives and Contaminants. That was a weird way to fucking...
Containments?
No, the way it's written is weird. Reviewing 39 different brands of straw made from 5 materials: plastic, bamboo, glass, stainless steel, and plastic.
Bamboo.
The study found per and polyfluoroalkyl, like alkaline, like alkyl, polyfluoroalkyl.
Fluoroalkyl.
I swear I read these beforehand.
I bet you do.
It's just when you read them out of your mouth, it just doesn't, because it says per dash, and so I guess it's perfluoroalkyl and polyfluoroalkyl. Perfluoroalkyl.
Sure.
Substances, aka PFAs. Why didn't you just fucking tell me that in the beginning, you shitbag?
Those are the bad things. PFBs, PFAs.
Yeah, or forever chemicals. PF Changs. PF Changs is a forever chemical. In all straws except those made of stainless steel. So in all of those, bamboo, glass, paper, plastic. Everything except for stainless steel, which is the one that you hate the most.
No, paper I hate the most.
Yeah, 3 sips and it's falling apart. Perhaps most surprisingly, PFAS was detected most frequently in those made of plant-based materials such as paper and bamboo straws. The reason for the plant-based straws to have any chemical residue at all, the author noted, is likely due to manufacturers wanting to make them water resistant.
Right.
PFAS chemicals, which number in the thousands, have been used in consumer products since the 1950s. The Regulatory Council of Interstate Technology noted these chemicals are popular as they, quote, impart oil, water, stain, and soil repellency, unquote, as well as, quote, thermal stability and friction reduction, end quote, which would be ideal for keeping a paper straw intact while supping a thick smoothie. So yeah.
This is all just so we can save those turtles, right?
Yeah, they get caught in their nose. Haven't you seen the video?
I've seen the pictures, man.
PFAS is one of the super chemicals that can do just about anything, from making sure your food doesn't stick to your pan to letting you wear a piece of clothing that can wick away water, and just about anything in between. A researcher assistant professor at the New York Institute of Technology had said, history shows us that these types of super chemicals that can do anything tend to be the most hazardous. Great. These chemicals, which gained, quote, forever chemical nickname, end quote, as they tend to break down very, very, very slowly, have been shown to have a host of negative health consequences, from changing a person's cholesterol levels to potentially disrupting the human immune system. Great. And it goes on. Just, we're all going to die. Nothing's safe. Hope you don't like regulation in the next 4 years. Because it's just going to get worse. But yeah, so stay away from all that shit, I guess. Just drink out of the cup, which is made out of plastic probably too. So we're all going to die.
Oh, God. The other thing, I know you don't go to McDonald's, but apparently the McDonald's straw, the iconic straw,
yeah,
some of these locations, they're not using it anymore.
Why is it iconic?
It's like wide bore, and it's just a big honker.
Oh, but you're just talking about like their normal soda straw. I got you.
With the stripes, and it's very thick. Yeah. The thick straw.
Mm-hmm.
They're kind of phasing those out.
Why? They're made out of cancer?
No, I think they're just too thick. Like, it's easier to just give you a shitty little, normal straw.
Well, that stinks.
Yeah,
still ain't strong enough to go against them McFlurries, right?
McFlurry that you can never get because it's never doesn't work.
The machine doesn't work. Yeah.
Yeah, the thing that they're doing now with all of these fast food restaurants is they're basically shoeboxes that are gray and are prefab for the most part, and then they just slap whatever logo. Because so many of them are owned by Yum brands, they're just kind of airdropping these boxes that are
what?
I'm talking about fast food in general. These buildings that are
ghost kitchens and shit.
That are no longer designed to be like you go inside and sit down and have a meal, and if you do, you will be depressed immediately. I swear to God,
you can't smoke in there anymore. That's why.
Yeah, that's why. But I'm fairly convinced that they're just modular little, buildings that they just bring in on a tractor trailer, drop it down in the parking lot, put the Wendy's logo on it, and then that's it. It's up and running. It could be the Wendy's, it could be the McDonald's. They all kind of look the exact same now, and it's something I've been noticing a lot more and more. Even the Arby's they all kind of look the same.
I went into a Popeyes right before Christmas to get a coworker a gift card because he acts like he's a vegetarian, but he sneaks out to get Popeyes. So as a joke, I bought him a Popeyes gift card to be like, we know what you're doing, motherfucker.
I mean, you can get mashed potatoes there.
Right. But he comes back with chicken. And they were like, we don't sell gift cards here. And I was like, what are you talking about? And they're like, it's too hard to deal with. We don't know how to use them. So we just don't sell them. I'm like, but you have them?
No, you probably have to get the app and then load your Popeyes wallet with money.
Well, then I went to, stores to see if they had them just in their gift card kiosks.
Uh-huh.
But then I went on the Popeyes website, and you can buy them through the Popeyes website. And I was like, sweet, I'll just buy it and then print it out. No, they send you a fucking gift card through the U.S. Postal Service that you have to wait for 2 weeks. I just got it yesterday.
That's a legacy gift card right there.
Fucking $15 goddamn gift card. Like, dude, why can't I just do a fucking thing where you just scan it and then we're good? Like, is that too hard?
It is, yes.
But dude, they were very adamant, we don't know how to use them. It's too complicated. And I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. I get it. It's fast food. You can't be mad at fast food people. They're undertrained. They don't give a shit because they're not paid. Yeah, all right. Okay, see you later. You don't sell them. I'm sure there's a fucking stack of them behind that counter. But all right.
Well, and
website.
Increasingly fast food, unless you're just there to get like at McDonald's in particular, like a 4-piece McNugget and a McDouble for $3, it is now expensive. Most combo meals are like $12.
Yeah, we made a joke like Crosby. There was like a Five Guys commercial or something like that, and he's like, "When are we going back to Five Guys?" I was like,
Never.
"When we have $50 to fucking burn." Like, are you kidding me?
I think the worst of all is definitely Shake Shack, because
I've still never had a Shake Shack burger.
Well, it's about the size of your thumb, and it's $15. And if you want to get their world famous crinkle fries with it, that's an additional $5. It's insane. And their log line, I think, is like, well, we pay our people like a fair living wage or whatever it is, and I'm like, cool. That's great and all, but your shit's not worth it. It's just not that good.
And that's the problem. Like, I love that you pay your people, you should, but your food should be good.
Or at the very least, the portion size should reflect that price tag, and it does not.
I can go down the street to Baltimore. They have very serviceable hamburgers that they sell, and they have amazing fucking tater tots. I'm good.
Ooh! Speaking of smash burgers and things like that, I bought a grill press.
Okay.
2-pound stainless steel.
A grill press.
Yeah.
Oh, just like a flat thing that you can. Yeah. Okay. Is it like really wide?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good. Cool.
Doing it for burgers. I'm doing it for bacon to hold down the bacon to keep it from curling up.
Oh yeah.
I'm probably gonna do it for onions. I'm trying to think of
you
a few other
fry
things.
your bacon in a pan, you fucking peasant.
I'm sorry. What do you want me to do with it? What do you want me to do with it, John?
I bake mine. I put mine on a rack.
I'll do it in the oven if I'm doing like
an entire pound.
If I'm doing an entire pound of bacon, I'll put it on the parchment paper and let it go. But
I don't even do it on the parchment paper is good too because it sits in its own grease and then it fries quicker. But I put it on a rack it just takes forever.
And you let it drip.
I like the results.
You remember the like the bacon rack where you hang up the bacon?
Oh yeah.
I want to get one of those.
Fucking microwave things too. You'd put them in. You'd put each rasher in. You could cook 4 at a time in your microwave.
Yeah.
I actually do like cooking bacon in the pan, but you get what you get, and you just got to deal with it. But doing it on a rack is my favorite way to do it. It takes a lot longer. And you have to be super vigilant with it, or all of a sudden, it just burns.
Yeah.
So,
I am very
the same thing with regular bacon.
With my pan bacon, I like it at a certain almost crisp.
Oh, okay. That was my next question. Do you like floppy, or do you like crisp, or you like chewy?
No, I like al dente.
Okay, yeah, that's kind of me. Yeah, Leanna,
you got to really keep an eye on it.
Yeah, Leanna likes it really crisp.
Yeah.
Like right before it's burnt. I like it. I like. Let's put it this way: when I put it on the rack, I like the stuff in the middle.
Okay.
Because that's the stuff in the middle doesn't cook as crispy as the stuff on the ends sometimes. So yeah, bacon's weird, and I love it. Okay, one more story before we talk another thing real quick. Okay. I got a story about Girl Scout cookies. Who gives a shit? Let's talk about the fucking Barstool douche.
Oh, yeah.
What's
Mr. Dave Portnoy.
Oh yeah, here you go.
He came to Baltimore. In fact, he's been in and out of Baltimore like for the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, is he staying here or is he coming back and forth?
I think he's based out of New York or Jersey or something like that. But he made waves. I think it was like Christmas Eve or maybe 2 days before Christmas. He went to a place called Tiny Brick Oven in Federal Hill, where the owner, his name, I can't say his last name. His first name is Will. He owns a pizza shop and he does very good pizza. And I've had it and it's very expensive, but it is pretty good. And he's a very nice guy. He's a veteran, so everybody's rooting for him. Dave Portnoy comes through. He's doing a little video. And the owner operator is flipping out. He's just like, "I love you, man. You're cool, great." Oh man.
Now I was like, "What? What's wrong with his last name? Is it too many fucking consonants?" And I just looked at it. I'm not saying that out loud. Okay.
It's funny seeing it's funny seeing in print and articles just over and over and over.
With two G's.
2 G's.
Okay. Yep. Nope.
Anyway, he starts telling this tale of sadness about how, he's going to be closing down soon because he needs to get a liquor license to remain competitive in Federal Hill. And he needs some crazy number like $60,000, and then Dave Portnoy is just like, "Here's a check for $60,000."
Yeah, he's like, "Okay, how much do you need? How much do you need to fucking just stay up?" And he's like, "I don't know. I'd have to get back to you." He's like, "No, give me a number." And it's like, "What?" And he's just like, "Fuck, give me a number." And he's like,
200,000.
60. Yeah, no, exactly. Like, shit. At least fucking swing for the fences, right? Like,
yeah,
to 150. Like,
and I read an article today explaining why he's having such a hard time getting his hands on a liquor license. It's true, they're very, very, very expensive, and I don't want to get into the details of why it's impossible to, if you're a small operator and you want to get a liquor license, you just can't.
Is it because there's only a certain amount of them?
Yeah,
because that was what my understanding was. There's a certain amount of them, and if nobody's selling one, you can't get one.
Correct. Not only that, but if you want to get, like, they will make you a new one, but it costs, like, you got to be like a green turtle, right? You got to dump $500,000 into a space. There are ways to get one. For instance, the casino invented one out of thin air. It's the only 24-hour license in the city. Never existed before, but now
they get whatever they want because they bring money to
the Harris Teeter, which has an adjacent wine and liquor or wine and beer bar, exists because they built a
Harris Teeter. The one by you?
Which normal Harris Teeter locations outside of Maryland have beer and wine. This one wanted to have beer and wine, and the city of Baltimore is like, you can't do that. So what they did was they built a place. You go through the automatic doors into their liquor store, which is technically a bar, and it's called the Cellars.
They keep it separate.
Keep it separate, and they did not buy a liquor license off of anyone. They spent $500,000 or more to build this brand new space and got themselves a liquor license just for that.
Nuts.
Yeah. The politics involved are insane,
and we were close to having beer and wine sold in stores that aren't liquor stores, but that's killed pretty much now. They're not going to even bring that up anymore.
I heard Westmore was all about it.
Not anymore. He came out. I think it was this week that he was just kind of like, meh. I'm sure somebody dropped a couple good donations in his pocket. Yeah. So, like, it's so weird to go to other states and be like, oh, you can buy beer and wine in just the Safeway?
Yeah,
like
gas station, like almost anywhere.
When we were in Seattle, we were like, why can't we find anything that sells beer or wine? It's only liquor stores. Mm-hmm. And we asked somebody and they were like, have you been to the Food Lion? And we were like, right, you can. That's the thing, like, because all the liquor stores had really shitty beer selections.
Yeah, it's also it's very strange. In Maryland, there's like one 7-Eleven that sells beer and wine out in Ellicott City.
Yeah,
and there's another one in Ocean City, and then there's a Royal Farms in Hamden that sells beer and wine. And I'm like, I don't know how this happened.
All these weird grandfathered,
something like that.
And then we go down to North Carolina, and it's like, okay, you can kind of get beer and wine wherever you want, but then liquor's in this fucking state-controlled barracks. You're like, what the fuck is happening?
But nothing is worse than Pennsylvania. It's the most weird or Orwellian, like, fucking.
Oh, you're not allowed to buy shit on Sundays and fucking.
There's that, and like if you go to a bar and you want to get takeout, 2 goes. I think it's like limit to 6-packs per person. It's some dumb thing.
Fucking Jesus.
So and all the liquor stores are run by the state. Anyway, getting back to pizza.
Yeah. So yeah, he was over by you, and then he was over by me at Matthews.
That's right.
And he liked it. He gave your guys' pizza like it was like a 9.
I don't remember the number.
Something really high. He gave.
It is a very good like Brooklyn style. But also kind of Neapolitan at the same time, so it's nice and chewy and a little burnt on the bottom, but it's floppy.
Okay,
so it's good. It's very good.
And then he came over my way to Matthews, which people describe as a Baltimore style pizza, but he kind of took offense to that and kept saying it was a tavern style pizza, or a Massachusetts tavern style pizza.
Okay.
Which I've never heard of because tavern style is a very thin, crackery crust.
Right. Matthews is like almost thick crust, maybe almost deep dish.
Well, it's not deep dish. It's more of a round grandma pie.
Okay.
Like it's almost like
very buttery.
Yes, it's almost like Detroit style, but round. But it has that like they cover the whole. They have their own pans, their own steel pans that they take the cheese all the way to the edge, and it goes down around the back end and makes that like fucking super crunchy, delicious part.
It's fucking good.
It's so good. I live 4 blocks away from Matthews. I haven't had their pizza in years because
let's make a date because I haven't been out that way in a long time.
Okay.
Either.
Yeah, because you got to go there and eat Matthews there.
Yeah, you do.
You know what I mean? Like, because when it comes right out of the oven,
it's like 1950s kitschy Baltimore, basement bar.
Yeah,
and it's served you on a paper plate on top of a paper plate.
Yeah, the paper plate clamshell is fucking crazy.
It's pretty good. And there's another bar around my area called Barflies that uses the same recipe.
Oh, really?
It's virtually the same kind of pizza, but it's just not as good.
He also did. I think it came out today that he did Frank's.
I've not been there.
I think
they're out like in Essex or something, right?
Yes. No. They're in. Let's see. So he's done Pizza John's, and then he did Frank's.
Oh, they're way up on. They're on Bel Air Road.
He did Matthews and Angeli's.
Mm-hmm.
Angeli's is okay.
My wife says that Frank's is awful.
Oh, he gave it 8.3.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Oh, she says that they put everything under the cheese.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fine.
I'm fine with doing like basil under the cheese, but not pepperoni.
Yeah. Pepperoni should be on top.
I agree.
It's ridiculous. Oh, Tiny Brick Oven got a 7.9.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's not a rousing endorsement.
Yeah, Tiny Brick Oven got 7.9. Matthews got a 7.9.
Really?
Oh, he kept calling it a bar pie. This is a bar pie.
Bar pie.
So, and then that's when. Have you watched you've watched the video of the person in the basement's like, give it an 8.9. Yeah. They said, screw it. It's an 8.1. But then he was talking shit about what's the seafood place? Jimmy's. He was talking shit about them.
Why is that?
But I don't know if he's like friends with them. He also said that fucking the Ravens choke in the playoffs.
All right, good, great. Yeah, we could do an entire episode about Jimmy's. I have so many thoughts about Jimmy's, but I'm not
good or bad.
Mixed.
Mainly bad.
Mainly leaning toward bad, but I am not at all surprised that if that Barstool would have a sort of relationship with Jimmy's in some form.
Oh yeah, because they're like fucking. I mean, Jimmy's goes out of their way to fucking.
Oh.
Like fight with PETA.
Yes. Like, Hannah has changed her stance. Frank's is good. Gill's is the bad one.
Oh, Gill's. Everyone talks about how good Gill's pizza is, and the first time I had it, I was like, this is trash. Their pizza's not very good. I would like him to go to like fucking Pauly G's or shit. Even Johnny Rad's pizza is fucking really good.
Johnny Rad's is good. Angeli's is pretty good.
Angeli's is overrated.
What is the one that's in Mount Vernon?
Oh, I don't know.
They've been around for quite some time. They're very hipster. They're popular.
Al Pacino.
No, fuck. A slice from Al Pacino is pretty good. Pacino's. Huh? Iggy's.
Oh, okay. I was going to say Two Boots, but Two Boots is gone.
But their hot dog pizza was so good.
Two Boots, yeah. Their pizza.
And Joe Squared's gone too.
Yeah. I love their spaghetti meatball pizza.
It was a good pizza. Even I did enjoy the flag pizza, but the large flag was like $38.
Yeah, dude. Again, if you want your people paid well,
sink or swim, baby.
But I loved their pizza, so I would go there and buy it. You know what I mean?
Sure.
But yeah. All right, so that's it. That's your food news for the week. Thanks everybody for listening to the Rude Cooking School podcast. I really appreciate it. We're back, baby. Feeling good. Voice is good. I don't sound like a frog anymore. So we will be back. I'll be back next week with someone. I don't know if I'm interviewing someone or it's a Jenny episode. We'll find out. I gotta check the calendar. Evan, tell them about your podcast.
Well, we've been on holiday break. Actually, we were going to record for our show, the City of Breeds podcast, aka the CTB show, this past week, but I was sick, so I was like, well, we're just going to extend our holiday break a little longer.
That's what I did.
So yeah, we're going to hopefully have everyone over on Sunday. We will touch base with you, and Leanna will do a double wide episode.
I'm not coming on until I can drink again.
Okay, then we'll do it in February.
You can have her on.
No, God, no.
I don't want to be on a podcast.
I'm not having her come over by herself.
Oh, I'll be there in the corner, just watching creepily.
Gross. We'll get you the cup chair.
Yeah. If you want to listen to a fun episode, a couple weeks ago, the CTB show did an episode where they tried McRibs for the first time.
Well, no, I had not had one yet. And Brian eats them.
Brian Levy is 75% McRib.
He's mostly McRib. Casey's definitely had them in the past, but he's not as obsessed. Yes. And it was the first time I'd had one, and I was like, I like this. It's good. I am going to hunt down like pork patties and make this myself.
I got the new. Do you know Maddie Matherson?
No.
You don't know Maddie Matherson?
Maybe okay. I do. I don't know.
I'll send you the picture of the recipe. Send you the video. He just came out with a book that's called Salads, Sandwiches, Soups. And he does crazy food videos. He's a really big dude who cooks. He's the food consultant on The Bear. He's in The Bear. He's one of the cousins. He's the goofy big fat guy. If you know him, talking about with the beard. But he does a McRib with real ribs, and it looks fucking insanely good. Where he just cooks them till you just pull the bone out, and then you just slather it and put that fucking thing on.
I would do that.
Onions and pickles.
And I'll get some country ribs because they're usually like $1 a pound. And I'll do that.
Yeah, they look so fucking good.
That sounds great.
Yeah, I might have to do this. But it's an easy recipe because it's not. You're basically. If you can pull the bone out of a rack of ribs, you've overcooked the shit out of them.
Right.
Right? Like, everybody's like, it's fall off the bone. Ribs aren't supposed to be like that. But for a sandwich, you want that so you can just bite through the whole fucking thing.
Plus, you want them basically soaking in sauce.
Yes.
To get that McRib consistency. And then the only other question is, where do you get the buns? Because that is a part of it, the cornmeal bun.
Oh, he just does a giant sub fucking roll. Like, yeah. He does it right. So I'll send it to you.
Cool.
And then you sent me Cooking with Jack show. Okay. So, all right, everybody. Thank you for listening to the Rude Cooking School podcast. I will talk to you next week. Thank you for listening. If you have the time, add me on Blue Sky. I have my personal, and there's a Rude Cooking School account too. I haven't really posted too much to the Rude account. I could just kind of mirror sometimes my personal account, which has been blowing up like crazy lately. But try to blow up the rude one. Join a Facebook group. It's great. It's fun. We all have a good time. Come play in the sand with us. And that's it for the Rude Cooking School podcast. I'm John House III. Don't yuck my yum.
But don't use paper straws.
Yeah, don't. You'll have chemicals forever. Peace.
Bye.